Welcome to my presentation on Kali Linux Spiderfoot, which is an automated OSINT tool that is very useful for blue team and red team. Just a little bit about Spiderfoot. As I said already, it's an open source intelligence automation tool. So instead of having to go onto the web and browse all the information yourself and figure out what it means, you can get on this tool, run a scan, and it helps put that that information into useful visual data and graphs where you can actually see what's connected and what's not. And it offers drill downs on more information for the tools. How did I find out about this tool? Why it's Spiderfoot? Really because I was very interested in the Kali Linux tools. This is one that we weren't able to explore through our intensive bootcamp course. So what I did was I first researched the Kali tools, then I went to Spiderfoot GitHub, which actually shows you the install procedures, which I briefly go over in the demonstration. Geeks for Geeks, of course, is very useful on how to get it to work, different ways to use it. And of course, YouTube videos are very helpful for those who have previously used it. I always find that YouTube is a little bit helpful for demonstrations of how this works. This is just a screenshot of what you'll see once Spiderfoot is actually running and you can access the browser. You'll see here an actual link to put in the URL that will be useful for you. And this is just a quick overview of the GUI, the graphical user interface that you'll see, and one of the graphs that you'll be able to see, and we'll be able to see in more detail what's down there at the bottom that you can discover. And you can see all the different things, correlations that can be found. So the process is very simple to use Spiderfoot, running it in the terminal, opening it. I'm going to go over it really quickly and show you how a scan works. They can take up to some time, but here is the demonstration. All right, welcome to my Spiderfoot demonstration. I'm already in Apache Guacamole and an Ubuntu terminal for Linux. Here, I've already installed Spiderfoot. So if we look around quickly, you can see that Spiderfoot is actually over here. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and CD into that directory. All right, now I'll look around for you again, but ultimately this is the code I'm going to end up running. I found this, of course, from the actual Spiderfoot GitHub. So if you just go here, you can see two different ways of installing it. I went ahead and used this one because it's a stable build. I've copied this code to run it. I did one at a time. All right, now here we go. Let's go ahead and run that. All right, so now it's running. You'll see here the URL to type in, or if you just click this link, it'll take you to your terminal. My terminal is already refreshed now from not being active to active. You can see that I've already started running some scans. This is the main screen where you'll actually see, you can name a scan, demo one, scan, www.tryhackme.com. Okay, you can see all the different ways you can scan a target. All right, this is not just limited to a URL or an IP address. This has many different things that you can scan and different ways that I'm just briefly showing you for sake of time. All the different ways, whether you want to use it for every piece of information, whether you want to find out just what the target is exposing to the internet, if you want to use it for more of a forensics purpose. You suspect someone of this target to be malicious and need more information, or when you don't want to leave a footprint, you want something passive, you just want to be eyes on, but you just want to see what they're affiliated with. Okay. You can also search by required data and check or uncheck any boxes that you don't need, which will help speed up your scan because it will take a while, hours. All right. So in some cases to run it, some will take 40 minutes, no big deal. Some will take less. Or you could run it even by module and it gives you descriptions on what those modules are. But again, for sake of time, I'm going to run this demo one on tryhackme.com. All right, we're just going to scroll down here and run that scan now. All right, it's going to take a while, but you can see it's starting up. It's been created. It's going to start running, and then it'll be running until it is completed, or you'll abort it, and you'll see that in a second, okay? In here, this is the summary. You'll see all the different correlations on severity levels that are associated with this whole site. All right. As you see, it starts to populate very quickly, and you see all the different pieces of information, right? The OSINT information from the framework. Why is this useful? This is automating this for us, and it's putting it in nice files and graphs for us to visualize. All right. If I move over from this summary into correlations as they populate, if they're high, medium, or low severity, I can actually browse DNS text record, right? I can get in here and see where the source is from, when it was identified. Okay, I can go back to my browse. I can look up the status code. All right, if I go back to my browse, I can look up, whenever, if it comes up with ports open, right, then I'll be able to find that. But you can see all this information is here. There's even a graph that's going to show all the affiliations with this website, and it's going to keep populating. So try hack me's here. Okay, Stuxnet at try hack me, email, different IP addresses. All right, and that's all for try hack me. You can go into your scan settings, and your log gets even more detailed. Now I'm going to get out of this one and go to my other scan so you can see Megacore 1 here quickly, briefly. As far as the graph goes, look at all the interconnectivity here. And as you zoom into specific dots, right, you'll be able to see different pieces of information. Matt Smith, Tom Hudson, right? What can all this be used for a hacker to gain access to? Whether they're people, email addresses, names. All right, all these are affiliated. A router, France, a Twitter handle for Tanya Rivera, right? We've got all kinds of information here that's affiliated with this website. Matt Smith's Twitter handle. So this is all stuff that can be used easily by a hacker. We want to make sure that it is protected. Now that you've watched that, what does it all mean? Spiderfoot is just an OSINT tool. It automates it, which saves time, but it can provide a hacker with a lot of useful information. If you have open ports, if you have things that are easily accessible that shouldn't be, that you need to keep secured and locked down, it should not be able to be reached by using the OSINT tool. Whether you need to have different firewall rules set up, or you need to protect your data, you need to find some ways in order to mitigate the impact this can have, because what can go from being just public information can eventually end up costing millions of dollars in reputation, which some companies are only used because of their well versed reputation, or it will literally physically cause ransomware. So you could be out millions of dollars, whether they have access to usernames, passwords, emails, or other sensitive information. All right. So the severity level is informational right now, but it can be used to get even deeper into a higher level of severity that can be useful later. Thank you for your time. I know it was brief, but I appreciate you listening.